Hi everyone, my name is Joy from TaxSmart Cafe, and I'm very excited to be with you on the very first episode of TaxSmart Cafe's Business Lounge, where we will discuss anything related to business. To kick off, our very first topic is something that is very relevant and important to business owners such as yourself, especially with the growing demand for online presence of businesses. Um, Most businesses would have a website. That will be the online presence, the online identity of their business. But before you can actually have a website, most of you will know that you would need a domain name first. So when I say domain name, that's the text, the URL that you type on the web browser for you to access a website. For instance, in our case, that will be taxsmartcafe.com.au. So and my screen here as well, so you can see an example. So mybusiness.com.au. So having a domain name with a .com.au would mean that you are a business or even an individual that has Australian presence, because only those in Australia can register for that .com.au or even the .net.au domain names. As a business, especially those who would eventually want to be able to have clients internationally, not just limited to Australia, we also recommend that you register for yourself the equivalent mybusiness.com domain name as well. So even if it's somewhere around the line in the future that you would want to eventually expand, it's good if you just reserve that for yourself so you don't need to worry about getting that domain name eventually. And another one thing to call out is that there is a new shortened Australian domain name that has just been released. So that is the .au domain. So meaning there's a shortened version to the .com.au domain name that most of us currently have. So for instance, for TaxSmart Cafe, aside from taxsmartcafe.com.au, we can also register a taxsmartcafe.au domain name. So why is it important that we are telling you about this right now? Because from now until the 20th of September 2022, so existing domain name owners such as ourselves, for instance, taxsmartcafe.com.au, we have until 20 of September of this year, 2022, to register the equivalent .au domain name of our current domain names that we're using for our websites. If you don't act before the 20th of September 2022, that means that others, public, anyone can actually purchase the equivalent .au domain for your business. Perhaps you'll say, I think that's cool, that's fine, but okay. Just think about this. What's in it for you? If you don't actually purchasing it, your .au the domain name equivalent will mitigate a number of risks. So, for instance, it will mitigate the possibility that a cyber criminal can actually purchase the .au equivalent domain of your website. Eventually, after 20th of September 2022, your clients might go to your mybusiness.au website. They would think it's your business, but actually it's owned by a cyber criminal. Even the business compromise as well. So it's they could, if they own the .au domain, a business email compromise rather, BEC. If they own the .au domain, they can actually create email addresses. So they can email your customers, your clients, even your staff, your team, your employees. They could think that it's from a legit email, such as your business, but it's actually from a malicious cyber criminal that purchased the equivalent .au. And eventually, also, if you even think of purchasing the .au, if it's owned by another person, you would back order, you would wait for that to be the .au to be available, or they could even sell the .au domain to you at a much higher price. So even the Australian Cybersecurity Center, the ASC, ACSC, they actually recommend Australian businesses, organizations, and individuals to take advantage of the priority allocation before the 20th of September. And the same thing that TaxSmart Cafe also recommends those who attend our event, starting or restarting your business right with TaxSmart Cafe. We always do call out if you have an existing .com.au domain name, purchase the .au domain name equivalent right away. And eventually, if you're going to start your own business or purchase a domain name to create a new website, purchase the two, purchase, or even the three. Purchase.com.au, purchase.com, and purchase.au all together. And you'll ask me, is that going to be quite costly? Well, you'll be interested to know that it's not. So it's actually right now just around $21 per year per domain name. So for this 3 years, just talking about around $60 a year for those three domains. And if you purchase for 3 years or 5 years, you can even get discounts for some of for those. So just have a look. So again, that's for our very first episode of Tax Smart Cafe's Business Lounge. Hope you learned something. Before I wrap up, just a general advice warning: everything that we're going to discuss in the sessions are all general advice. It does not take into consideration your particular or specific circumstances. So make sure to work with professionals before you act on any of these. And of course, Tax Smart Cafe, where we're happy to work with you if you have any questions on this topic or on anything related to accounting, taxation, and business related inquiries that you might have. So please follow TaxSmart Cafe to keep up to date with our news and our content and our events. And do like, share, and comment in this video. And let us know any other topics you want myself or the team to discuss in this business launch. So thank you for joining me in our very first episode. Remember, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you are not alone and you are awesome. Thank you. Bye.